Hi Aquarius, welcome to your first half of January 2017. This is Raina, and this is going to be a general tarot reading. And in addition to the tarot, I'm also going to be picking a card from my new Keepers of the Light Oracle deck, so that should be fun. There's going to be a full moon during this time period on the 12th of January, and this is going to fall in your 6th house of health and the workplace. And so some people may have some kind of a job that you've been doing. I'm talking about like some kind of a job assignment. Maybe it will be over. If you have some kind of a project that could be coming to a head or coming to culmination, you may be changing the department that you're working at, or maybe just leaving a company. And some people may even be seeing a greater workload. Sometimes the full moon can bring something in abundance, and it could have to do also with a health matter, that something comes to your attention. Sometimes with full moons, something comes to light, so it could be the health or in your workplace. And speaking of health, it's a great time for purification, because it's a detoxing kind of the full moons are a time when it's easier to detox, and so it's also easier to lose weight for that period of time up until the up until the new moon, I should say. So and the new moon, I believe it's on, I think it's on like January 27th, so that's like a 2 weeks span between the full moon and the new moon. And of course that new moon is going to be in your sign, but that's for my next general tarot reading for the last half of the month. Okay. Okay, so at the heart of your reading is an issue that you may be kind of like on the fence about. Maybe you haven't made a decision about something. The Two of Swords. And you see there's a moon there too, so that might figure in with the full moon. And that could be a workplace issue, because I did get some feeling with the Pentacles that this is possibly dealing with workplace matters. So you may be mulling over something, because I do have here the Page of Pentacles. And, you know, pages can indicate messages. We do have a Mercury retrograde that begins January in Capricorn. Starts in Capricorn. Well, actually, by the time January rolls around, it's going to be in Sagittarius, I'm sure, because it actually went retrograde on the 19th of December. I think it was like about 3 degrees of Capricorn. But it is possible, even though they could be talking about that during the retrograde. You see, the Pentacles connect to Earth, so a message. It could be something that you started back in December, and it is something that you revisit. You know, when Mercury goes direct, things start to kind of flow again. Maybe there was some kind of message you received. It could even be, who knows, from a past business, a past job place, and you have to decide whether you're going to, you know, go back there or stay where you are. I mean, there's, you know, many different possibilities. But the point is that something is a message about something makes you feel on the fence, that you have to decide something. Of course, this could also deal with people. This could deal with someone who is an earth sign. It could be somebody who's younger than you too. And that may be one reason why you're like, I don't know if I should pursue this relationship because there's an age difference. And I don't know if it's too much of an age difference. So the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So you may be kind of like torn between. Some people may have been in school and they're not sure if they want to stay there, because Page of Pentacles can refer to students, and you may have you know, thought that was the route you wanted to take, and now you're kind of reconsidering it. What comes in is the Strength card. It could like actually be a Leo individual that figures into things for some reason, because the Strength card is connected to Leo. Another thing to let you know is that there's going to be a full moon in Leo on February 10th, while the sun is in Aquarius. So this may have some kind of a future reference of like, this will all get resolved at that time. That's always a possibility. In terms of strength, I think that the Strength card, obviously it's self-explanatory, but one possible way that we show strength is through having the confidence to, make decisions and know that we will be protected no matter what. Sometimes people stay in situations because they're not sure if they will go their way. They may feel like, oh gosh, what if I leave this job and then this other opportunity turns out to be, a pipe dream, and so now I'm going to be left with nothing. And same with relationships. People line things up in the future so that they never have to deal with any kind of loss or being alone in the case of relationships. And I think that in those, obviously there are times when you need to maintain income level, and you don't want to just like do something very suddenly, like quit a job very suddenly. But on the other hand, there is such a thing as being too cautious, and also needing things to be kind of spelled out for you. And I wouldn't even be surprised if sometimes when people find that things happen that, they didn't want to have happen, it's because their higher self wanted them to learn to be adaptable. And, as a fixed sign, Aquarius is not necessarily that flexible. There's a kind of a rigidity, a tendency to want things to maintain the status quo, which is kind of like, to me, a little bit of a contradiction with Aquarius, because you are known as kind of like surprising, doing things suddenly, and, being unpredictable in that sense. And so it's like, how could somebody who's like that also, want to have things, predictable? Well, it has to do with your own. You may act erratic sometimes, but in your own life, you don't want that to be what happens to you. But you might express that to other people. And learning how to not only have faith, because the star card is your card, so that's the card of having faith in unseen forces. Having that kind of thing in your own mindset when you do things allows you to know that you will land on your feet no matter what, and not to fear change or fear the unknown. But let's look at some of these other cards, because this is kind of like reiterating this. Four of Pentacles. Somebody who is holding too tight to their finances. And this can, make it hard for you to kind of make those necessary choices. Because if you're someone who has a dilemma on your hands, and I'm assuming if it's a dilemma, it's because you really want to do this new thing, and you really want to take this offer. It can be very frustrating because you're playing it too safe. In relationships, if you're choosing between two people, the Four of Pentacles can indicate that maybe for some reason you're being too conservative, you're being too traditional. A lot of people don't realize that Aquarius can be a traditional or a well, I wouldn't say, I don't know if traditional is the right word. Yeah, I guess you would say that. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is a very erratic planet and therefore energy. But it's also ruled by Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn. And so you do have like some political figures like Sarah Palin, Dan Quayle. I'm talking about American because I don't know some of the world leaders, but some people that are associated with the conservative movement are Aquarians. Ronald Reagan was somebody who used to be a Democrat, and then he became a Republican, and he's a darling among the conservatives. And Glenn Beck, the announcer, but then you have our talk show host, Alex Jones is an Aquarian. So is Keith Olbermann, who's been I think he's an Aquarius, and he was just going crazy the other day. So you have all types of Aquarians. And a lot of times they like to shock people with their behavior. But sometimes in their own personal life, they may kind of veer towards the tried and true. And as I say, the Four of Pentacles as a higher position may indicate that you're being very, and this could even be like financially, that you're just being too conservative, or you're trying to control your finances a little bit too much, like micromanage them, and that can mean that you're not allowing that space or that circulation for things to kind of pick up. It's like if you hold on to something too tightly, it doesn't have a chance to really take off on its own. And so you kind of put limitations on it when you get too caught up in that. And it's always control issues. And for fixed signs, the control issues are wanting to maintain a sense of constancy. Is that a word? You want to maintain that, and you are the sustainers. You are the signs, all of the fixed signs. So you're looking at Aquarius and Leo, and if you have other planets in these signs, then it kind of enhances that. Taurus and Scorpio are the signs, the builders, the people that are very disciplined, and so they're very habitual in their behaviors. And they're very, you could say they're very predictable because they tend to do things over and over again. But they have a sense of consistency about them. So they can also endure. And even if they have setbacks or anything like that, they will continue to plod along and keep doing things. And they, the number 4 too is a builder number. So if this is a relationship, the person that is going to be the right one is the person that you can build a life with, that you don't have to wonder what they're going to do next. Because you may have that part of you, since you do have, there's a little bit of a wild card in every Aquarian. You may have that part of you that is attracted to people who exhibit this. And then you're kind of always kept on your toes, and it feels interesting and exciting, but it can be chaotic as well. The advice is the 10 of Wands, and this was kind of what I was hinting at when I was talking about that full moon on the 12th in Cancer, in your not your opposite sign, in your 6th house. And this could be that you're going to be working harder. You're going to have more work than you know what to do with. But it might just be saying, you know, buckle down, roll up your sleeves. You have a lot going on, and just preparing you for that. Of course, when the sun is in Pisces, and also there's going to be a new moon in Pisces come the end of February. This is always the time when you have triggers to your 2nd house of earned income. So all of this is kind of like going along with those kinds of transits anyhow. And actually Mars is going to start the year in your 2nd house of earned income. So that will dovetail quite nicely with that sense of like really being, working hard and having a lot of activity in your earned income in the first half of the month, For relationships, there might be a Leo. The card that I had mentioned before, that's your opposite sign, Leo, and then you also have this 10 of Wands that could indicate a fire sign individual, so maybe it is a Leo. The outcome is the 8 of Cups. So there is something that, and I had also said that. I had also said that with the full moon in that 6th house, you may decide, I'm out of here. Maybe that was your dilemma. Should I stay at this place or not? And you decide, no, I'm going to leave. So that would be, probably towards the, middle of the month. And that's going to be what you want to do. Now, it's funny, I forgot to tell you what the challenge is. The challenge is the Knight of Swords. I'm reading it in the reversed position. So, in terms of how that relates to all of this, the Knight of Swords in the upright position is somebody who is, now this could be an air sign individual, and maybe that was one of the people that, if you were choosing between 2 people, if that was the centerpiece of your reading, 2 people, one of them might have been, maybe it was an earth sign and an air sign. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and maybe there's a Leo person that is the one that's really for you. But this air sign person may be problematic. And that person may be giving you problems. The Knight of Swords, even in the upright position, can indicate somebody who is very outspoken. In the reverse position, this person can really know how to cut you down and know exactly where to get you. So they might be verbally abusive. They may be argumentative. And they're immature in a sense, because these knights, a lot of these knights have an immaturity, chaotic energy to them. And for some of you who are younger especially, this may have been a fellow student of yours if you were at university. So, but as I say, I think that some of you are going to, I don't like to say the profanity, but, I'll just say poop or get off the pot. And you're going to go and seek something that is much more on the soul level, not something else. Now, if that's a job, that could be just as well a job. And if that is a job situation, you may be dealing with someone, maybe a younger boss or a co-worker who is trying to give you grief about, your decision, or even like the impetus for you to say, I'm out of there. Because maybe it's like a coworker who's just, you can't deal with this person. They're just like impossible, or they're abusive. So, yeah, there's a lot going on here. And I'm sure that, this is just symbolic of what might be happening. Let me pick because that's, it's a short period of time to have all this happen, but if some of this resonates, it's probably themes that have been going on for a while now. Like, if this is a workplace issue, like, you know, it's very likely that you already have had issues there. So it's not like they're going to just crop up, you know, within a 2-week period. So, okay, interesting. So the oracle card I got for you is Diana. Focus intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Now, it's funny because this almost seems like a card that you would expect for your new moon, setting your intentions for that. So I'm going to just see if there's any additional information in the booklet, because I just got this, so I'm not really familiar with everything. Oh, you're going to like this. Move forward with unwavering faith, knowing that the universe is supporting you. That's kind of what I talked about up there, about, you know, having faith. And I had mentioned the star card, even though, you know, that's your card in the major arcana. Diana is helping you to awaken your divine ability to manifest what you deserve. Any fear is only a reminder of whatever you are working on or through is an important issue for your growth. Your focus is strong now and will be particularly powerful at the full moon. You may be aware of night owl tendencies. This is because your angels and guides are sending you important messages that you may be missing during the day due to a busy schedule. Set some time aside to do a deep meditation to receive the guidance. So, yeah, that seems to resonate to some degree. So, I hope you enjoyed that additional card. I'm having fun, you know, pulling these cards. I also have a native spirit oracle deck, and I was going to pick, you know, a card from each one of those decks, but that's a bit much. So I'm going to do that maybe when I do love readings or something. We'll see. But anyway, Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this, and I wish you a wonderful start to January. Bye.